You're not, because like if only if you were doing something like inappropriate, like if you just start doing like African chants, then yeah, you get canceled at that point. But right now, you're just
What if they were appropriate African chants?
what's an appropriate African chant?
I don't know, like background in a Paul Simon song. Hey, you're laughing at Ladysmith Black Mambazo, and that is not cool.
Well, you didn't mention the entire song. You just said the Paul Simon song. I was like, okay, but no, like right now, you're just wearing a shirt. It's kind of like if like any other culture, like you wear like part of their clothing or something like that. As long as you're not wearing something where it's like something for like a marriage or like a
So
like a
something that has
religious
like a
thing.
sacred tradition behind it.
Yeah,
But that's actually one of the things that we were gonna build into the podcast was
yeah. We'll,
like
we'll actually discuss that now.
yeah on our podcast, which is called the
Rubber
Rubber
Duck
Duck Syndicate. Yeah,
Welcome.
we should work on that synchronization.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. It's all right.
Yeah.
They understand. They've been here long enough. They're like, yeah, we know what's up.
welcome to the Rubber Duck Syndicate podcast, and I'm wearing this daishiki.
A dashiki shirt.
I'm wearing a shirt which may or may not be daishiki for multiple reasons. One, I completely ruined my other shirt at dinner, and happened to have this one all ready for me. And two, we are kicking off our roundtable on is it racist?
In the most appropriate way.
Oh yes.
But yeah, this opens up the discussion. Yeah, of is this racist? I will say personally, it's not because this is, I believe, not. I can't say traditional. Like this is a garment that they would probably wear in Africa like all the time. It's not where it's like, oh, this is something where they're wearing for like say religious reasons or like a ceremony or anything like that. This pretty much is like I guess
This is just like African fashion.
yeah, African fashion.
Yeah, which I mean, but stepping back a moment from is it racism, but like I wish that there were a universally agreed upon definition for what constitutes cultural appropriation.
Yes,
But it seems like the whether or not it's cultural appropriation hinges on basically whether it pisses anybody off.
which is problematic because there's a lot of things that can piss a lot of people off for either valid reasons or not valid reasons. Where like somebody just may have a stick up their ass for like whatever reason. Like you're taking my culture. Like we're not taking your culture. We're not denying your culture.
It's not like you don't have it anymore.
Yeah, like no, you still have it. It's like I'm honoring it or like I'm being part of it in a certain way. Like in the sense of like just say food. Like as a white man, you can eat Chinese food. It's okay. No one's gonna be like, no, you can't have Chinese like or me, like you can't have Chinese food.
But at the same time, historically, white people have pretty much gone all over the world. Well, I think one of the main reasons was like the spice trade, and then of course, things that built onto that. But there's one of the jokes about English food is that they conquered 2/3 of the world looking for spices and then don't use any of them.
Yeah, a little true. Yeah, because I've been to a few people's houses where there was definitely a lack of some spices in the food. You're like, I appreciate you making a meal. I appreciate you having me over. I wish
Is this seasoned?
I wish you would have used some paprika or pepper or something to that effect.
Have you seen it was one of the old Oprah episodes where she has this woman on who's apparently won some like nationwide contest for her mac and cheese recipe,
Yeah.
and Oprah takes a bite, and you can just see like the soul leave her body, and she's like, "Did you season this?" Like, okay.
Like,
Ooh.
I can see that being a rough thing where like she takes a bite of it and you're like, wow, this is lacking everything. But of course, that's the judges of whoever those judges are. Maybe they have a very bland palate. And they're like, oh, this is amazing. No spice? Yes.
I mean, I always have questions about the best foods or like the best ones. Like when it comes to the flavors and aromas and things like that, so much of that is completely subjective. But like there is science behind some of it, like sommeliers, like the people that devote time to studying and like refining their palate to be able to distinguish, the subtle notes in different wines. Like they actually can do something like scientifically that it's not just everyone can do it, and it's not just all in their head. There are reproducible results they can get when they are talking about different wines.
Yeah.
And I think that's very impressive on the one hand, but on the other hand, if you tell me that this wine has hints of banana in it, I'm gonna taste banana the next time I sip it.
Yeah, because like they already put that suggestion in
Exactly.
your head. You're like, oh, there's hints of rosemary and oak and some other bullshit. You're like, and you're going to just go with it. Be like, well, yeah, I can. No, you, not that like you couldn't smell that before. Now that now that the hint is like implanted in your head, you're like, oh, now I can do that. But they also could be like be bullshitting. Because they could just say, like, oh, yeah, hints of this, this, and this. You're like, oh, yeah, I smell and taste that. And they're like, okay, I was just fucking with you. There's none of that. You're like, oh, shit.
Which I've seen different experiments do that basically cover both sides of that whole theory. Is like John Cleese had a special about wine like 20 years ago, and he had a whole bunch of people over for a garden party, and they all got wine in opaque sippy cups, like so that you couldn't actually see what kind of wine you were drinking.
Oh, okay.
And so then they asked everybody, to vote on or to decide whether they had been drinking red wine or white wine. And about half and half picked red wine, white wine. It was all the same wine. It was all red wine. And that right there is enough to call bullshit on a whole lot of things. But then there are like sommelier demonstrations where they'll take one wine and they'll serve it to you in a glass, shaped like a regular wine glass, and take a sip, and then they'll pour it into a different shaped glass, and it drastically changes the flavor of the wine.
Yeah, like I've seen that before,
Yeah.
where they're like, yeah, because like they're saying that like, oh yeah, the openness of the glass or the shape of it affects the taste. I'm like, that just kind of blows my mind a little bit. I was like, yeah, that can be a thing where like the shape of like the utensil, the shape of the vessel that you have could affect the way you eat something because like yeah, what there's something that like is layered, like a 7-layer dip. Now, if it was just like in a narrow like container, you're like, oh, I can't get to the guacamole at the very bottom. I can only get to the cheese that's at the top and try to get all the way down. But versus like say a wide, baking dish, you're like, oh, I can get everything at once. This is fantastic. All 7 layers.
So that's it, folks. Racism is like 7-layer dip.
Oh, there's no more on top of that?
No, I felt like we were getting slightly off topic.
Well,
But no, we're talking about like subjective things, like what is offensive to one person, and then within food. So like, everyone is familiar with the concept of white people spicy. So you go to an Indian restaurant or any place that is from a culture where they are very proud of how spicy their food can be. You don't actually want the spiciest curry you can get because
No.
you will be on the floor clutching your stomach, begging for death.
Yeah, because like I end up I don't know why I end up finding this out like in adulthood. When your food is spicy, it's not actually spicy. It's just the pain that is caused on your tongue. That's I it was on some kind of video I watched, so
Must be true.
It must be true. It must be true because I'm saying it right now. Where they were saying they're like, yeah, like food is not actually spicy. It's just the amount of pain that you're going through to like ingest this. Kind of like like say a jalapeno. Like why it's spicy is because like it naturally developed over time to like get I guess predators or other animals to not eat you. Like be like, oh,
And then we decided that we like it.
like we like it. Let's put this in like with some tomatoes, onions, and other stuff, and eat it like this. But yeah, it's just essentially it's just your body going through pain. Not that it's spicy. It's just your body is like, hey, I'm going to make sure you suffer right now. Essentially, that's what it was. Like,
Suffering is delicious. I mean,
Yeah.
look at veal. Sorry, vegetarian folks and vegans.
no, they're not watching this, or they might be. I don't know. Welcome. Well, we welcome everybody here.
To the three vegetarians and or vegans that were just watching, thanks and sorry for that.
Well, they'll come back. They're like, these guys are charming. We like them. We're going.
We are charming.
Yeah,
And we talk about the big issues, too. We're tackling racism right now.
As a black and white man, we're doing it. As you're wearing an African shirt. So, yes, we're tackling all the racism. But, yeah, you think about it. Like, yeah, because, like, say, is it racist? Like you mentioned, just say, like, the food thing, people can, like, that's negotiable. Negotiable, because they're like
is the question, is it racist or is it culturally appropriate or cultural appropriation? Is that the same sort of thinking as, is it spicy or is it too spicy? Because, it's, if there is something that is perceived differently depending on like who you are, where you grew up, or maybe there's even some genetic factor, I'm sure there are some people that just tolerate supremely spicy foods better than anybody else on the planet.
True.
But is it the same? Like, is it the same reasoning? Like determining if something is racist or offensive or cultural appropriation? Is it the same kind of thinking as whether something is like something that you only perceive like taste?
Huh. Yeah, that brings up a lot of different questions, and like because like it, obviously it's in the same realm, but that could be in the same realm of yeah, is it racist? Like that's fruit, or it's like is it cultural appropriation? That could be vegetables. Like yeah, there's still stuff that you can buy in the store. Is still something that you can carry in your hand, but it's two totally different things. So I guess the cultural appropriation thing, like, because we'll tackle that. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, that one's easier to narrow down than is it racist?
Yeah, because it really depends on how you approach it and how you go about it. Just say for like say Asian culture, like if you walk around in a kimono like all day and like the sandal things and things like that and have like the fake bun, you're like, okay, that's too much. That's also a ceremonial thing, and they don't wear that all the time.
Yeah, but also on like the flip side of the same coin, like classically going over to countries like Japan, it was considered courteous to adopt the style of dress and whatever they were wearing at the time because it was something that they offered to share.
Yeah,
and so it was not absurd to see a white Westerner wearing robes, and I don't know about if they ever did the hair the same way.
Yeah,
but that was just what you did when you went to visit someplace. You dressed
True.
like the locals.
Yeah, you're just like the locals, and that's also because like they gave you the garbs. They're like, hey, if you want to be part of the culture, here you can wear this. We're allowing you to do this. But if you like say you're in the U.S. and you're just wearing it out and about, and you're like, oh yeah, this is what I wear all the time. You're like, is it? It's like why?
But then like we're getting into like this. I mean, this. Like, if I were to wear this out, I would probably get some at least raised eyebrows.
Maybe a little bit, but there probably still is. I don't know. Like I haven't met him. I haven't seen him in a while. Part of a gay dinner group that I would go to, the gentleman would wear a dashiki. Anytime I see him, white gentleman, older, maybe in his 50s, but he wore it because, like, he's like, yeah, I like the colors, I like the patterns, and I like the comfort. That's why I wear them. And people like it wasn't because like he's like, oh yeah, like I identify myself as an African, or I'm doing it for the culture. He's like, no, this is a comfort level for comfortable for me.
Yeah, which I understand that reasoning. I watch a lot of foreign language movies, and one of my particular favorite genres is martial arts fighting movies. But there are a lot of characters, and not just characters. There are a lot of people that actually wear robes, in various Asian countries, just as daily wear.
Yeah.
And some of those robes look extraordinarily complicated, and like I would probably have to like learn 15 different knots or something to get everything tied right. But some of those robes just look super comfortable.
Yes.
And I can imagine like you're wearing like lightweight flowing silk. I mean, that would be awesome in the summer.
True.
But would I be an asshole for wearing it? Is that cultural appropriation, or is it pajamas?
Yeah, that brings up like an interesting question, because like if you're, I guess it's like how you adopt it. In my mind, it's like how you adopt it. Like, are you doing it because you think you're like, oh, that looks cool, I want to do it because it looks cool, or you're doing it, you're like, hey, that actually looks like it's a comfortable thing. They're doing it because like they're just it looks all right.
But is thinking that something looks cool, is that not enough of a reason to wear something? Like, is there like there has to be some sort of objective mathematical formula for this?
Yeah, there should be, but I guess there really isn't. But it also really depends, I guess, maybe on public, opinion. Because, like, say, you wearing that shirt, like, if you wore it out, yeah, you get a few raised eyebrows. They're like, is that dude wearing an African?
People would probably assume that I was wearing it to make some kind of point. Probably not a very good one.
Yeah. But, like we were kind of mentioned earlier, well, not here, when we were actually talking before, the amount of people that pay attention to what other people are doing or what they're wearing is very little. Like, the amount of people actually looking at you and seeing what you're wearing or what you're doing is not a lot. You would think that you're like, oh, all eyes are on me because I'm wearing this very bold thing. Yeah, you'll get a few people looking, but the vast majority not really paying attention. Unless you're trying to do something where you're like trying to highlight yourself to get attention. Then
What do
that's
they call it? Peacocking?
Yeah. Yeah, it's peacocking, where they're just...
Which annoys me because I miss wearing my fedora hat. I wore a fedora hat for years. I also wore a Panama hat, which, by the way, is a straw fedora, in the summer, because I liked those hats. I liked the old movies. Like, my dad had that hat,
Yeah.
and I loved it. But apparently, it was when someone used the term fedora to refer to basically a neck-bearded person wearing it just to get attention.
Yeah.
It's like, holy crap, that's a word now? People, I can't wear my hat anymore?
Yeah, which is very unfortunate, because like even the ones that I would say the neckbeards were wearing, they weren't fedoras, correct? They were something else.
Well, there are a lot of things that the specific names of certain styles of hats, like there are traditional definitions for like almost every shape of hat. Mm-hmm. But fedora, thanks to Indiana Jones wearing a fedora, so people think like, oh, if it's a hat with a brim all the way around, it's probably a fedora, which is why almost everyone or almost every hat can be mistaken for a fedora. But there are hundreds of other varieties that are the same sort of. Like they have a round brim, but depends on like how long the brim is, how deep the wedge on the top goes, like the shape of the crown. There's
there's a lot of factors to it, but I guess overall people are like, oh, that dude is I understand why people were, I guess, kind of clowning on people that were wearing like fedoras or whatever that type of hat was, because it was like, in my experience. They would be wearing the fedora, but they'll also be wearing a T-shirt, which I
mean, I have been guilty of, but that's just because I loved wearing that hat. But I mean, the fedora I usually wore when it was cooler, and I had my straw hat, which I need to get another one because I wore the last one out. There's a hole in the front. It's so uncouth.
Yeah. But yeah, like I can see why I guess some people would make fun of the people that were, I guess, considered say neckbeards. Because they would wear a fedora, but also like a T-shirt. I feel like,
Well, I think it's the behavior, like because when you refer to somebody as a fedora, you're almost certainly talking about someone that wears the hat so that they can tip it and say "milady," which maybe at the Ren Fair, but I wouldn't be wearing a.
Not even at the Ren
Fair.
I
wouldn't be wearing a fedora at the Renaissance Fair. It's completely inappropriate.
Yeah,
wrong time period.
Wrong time period. They wouldn't wear a fedora back then, or maybe they would. We don't know. They were also, dying of just death. They were just dying because of everything.
They were dying of death, huh?
They were dying of theft. Yeah. They were just up and dying, being born and just die. You're like, oh, you got a dead baby here. You're like, damn it, not another one. Oh, let's try again. You have a dead baby joke, don't you?
I have many, but I'm not going to bust them out.
Because, please.
Yeah, I have matured. I am aware that these jokes are horribly inappropriate, and there is no place, even if they are hilarious.
Don't try to convince them. You're like, even though they are hilarious.
I was like, I know when and where to tell them. So 99.9% of scenarios, not cool to tell dead baby jokes. But that 0.1%, where I'm with people that are afflicted with the same sense of humor that I have.
Yes.
We can appreciate it, and we can also tell these jokes and understand that we are not actively promoting the death of babies.
Correct. But, because speaking of Ren Fest, I think, I want to say within the next couple days, you can buy tickets.
Yeah, I just got an email saying the tickets were going on sale.
Yeah. Which is kind of not weird, but for the last couple years, the first Saturday, Sunday has been sold out weeks ahead of time.
There's probably mailing lists for that.
Yeah, it's mailing lists, but also it's become a thing where I guess a lot more people are going to the Renaissance Festival because of at whatever reason they're going. But
turkey legs,
which is actually I don't think they're actually turkey legs. I want to say they're legs of something else.
Okay, now you have definitely got my attention. What possible leg could this be?
Word on the street, emu.
Emu.
Yes.
You think emu is easier to come by than turkey?
Possibly, but I know you have turkey dinner for Thanksgiving or whenever time, but when have you ever seen a turkey leg that big on a regular turkey?
Well, it depends on where you cut it, but and that also to play devil's advocate here or turkey's advocate, there's probably a great deal of variety in turkey size depending on how you raise them. There's probably a way to raise turkeys to have bigger thicker legs. Just we've over the last 100 years we've grown these horrible mutant chickens that are all chicken breast.
Yeah, it's scary and delicious.
But it's chicken breast. It tastes like protein. This is when you say it tastes like chicken, it's because chicken tastes like nothing.
Yeah. Just for the fact of because there was a gentleman that I worked with that was probably still is a farmer, and he was raising chickens for whatever company.
Chickens are monsters.
Yeah, they kind of are. So he was saying that he would go through, they would have to feed them, do this, do that. But he says on a daily basis he would have to go and find chickens that were just so large that they couldn't actually move anymore. So they would just be immobile, they couldn't move. They would just be all.
They lay an egg and they tip forward a little.
Well, that would be all breast, so they can't. So they're just
just pinned to the ground.
They're pinned to the ground, and they can't get up and move and walk. So they would they essentially would die because they can't get up to move to go get food. So they would just die. So he's we would have chickens that were, I'm not sure what
other chickens would eat them.
I'm not sure if there would be chicken cannibalism going on. Oh, they do that?
Oh yeah, chickens are monsters.
Oh, fantastic.
Like in some like big factory farm setups, and this is horrible. I'll acknowledge that, but there is a technique where they basically they trim off the chicken's beak, like they just sort of snip it,
Yeah.
so that they can't peck each other to death and eat each other.
Gotcha. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, which I mean, I acknowledge the horror of factory farming and livestock and all that. Yeah, it's gross. It's probably inhumane, but at the same time, I'm still going to eat them.
Yes. Yeah, it's a horrible, horrible fact, but we still gotta do it. Yeah. Because like the alternative, be going vegan, vegetarian, which is not bad because we will mention this. A couple weeks ago, we went to
the mac and cheese contest.
Yeah, it was a mac and cheese contest that was here locally.
Yeah, and the vegan option won soundly.
Yeah, it was heads and shoulders above everyone else. Yeah. And it was amazing. We were like, this is vegan? And you're like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is, I think, I can't remember if they use soy milk or oat milk, but like one of the alternative milks, to dairy milk, just it doesn't break down quite the same way, so it ends up being like thicker and velvetier, and so you have, this just built-in texture to the cheesiness, and it's just really good.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was one of those ones that, after eating all the other ones, you're like, okay, this one's good, this one's all right, and you eat that one, you're like, holy shit, why is anyone else here? Everyone else should just go home and just take the fact that you're a failure. And don't
this is
come
so
back.
good, everyone else should be ashamed of themselves.
They should have been. You're like, oh, God.
Your macaroni and cheese is bad. You should feel bad.
You should feel bad. You should feel shame.
Yeah, we shouldn't be allowed to judge any contests.
No, we can't. That'd be horrible.
Yeah.
But we're available to do it, though. Like, we can.
Oh, yeah, celebrity judges. We can do that. We're celebrities now, right? Because we have a podcast.
Like everyone else.
But ours is unique.
Because it's called Rubber Duck Syndicate.
I thought it was going to be the whole solving racism thing. But okay, sure. Let's do the name.
Oh, the racism thing? Nah. Ours is unique because we put a string of words together that don't usually go together. They're like, what? Rubber duck, what? I like it. I'm going to keep listening to it.
You have intrigued me, sir. I would like to subscribe to your newsletter.
Look, there's a black one and a white one? Yes.
We are diverse.
There's a straight one and a gay one? Yes. We're covering all the spectrums. Like, if I was only like a black woman, then it'd be different. And like, we would have the whole spectrum just kind of covered. Because it'd be the black and white, man and woman, gay and straight.
So you have to be a gay black woman, is what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
But I can't go down that route. I like ding dongs, so. And also, I'm still a dude. So I like my ding dong too.
So you are. There's no way to continue this
Nope,
conversation.
you
There's
can't.
just nothing to do here.
You can't do anything with it.
Yeah, I'm conceding.
That's why I'm doing this. That's why I do this podcast, just to have you be like, nope, I quit.
Yeah, trying. Oh, so let me guess. It was you that made me spill food all over my white shirt, and this is all orchestrated, clever plan to have me wear this shirt.
It's an evil ploy to make little videos of you with this shirt, so that like it can go viral.
If I see me in this shirt on TikTok with like this racist motherfucker, if I see that, I'm gonna come for you.
You can. Well, you got a key to my house too, so.
That's true, but you do live so far away.
I know. all of like 17 miles away.
Which, is really kind of average around here.
True. Yeah, because like the city of Charlotte is.
We have an urban sprawl issue.
Yeah. And I would say it's getting worse by the day. just because they're building townhomes and apartments everywhere. And I understand that everyone needs a place to live.
Oh, no, we're not building it for people that need a place to live. We're building all luxury units.
Yeah,
We're not building affordable shit.
yeah, all the luxury apartments for all the luxury amenities. We're like, oh, you can live uptown next to this. You're like, okay, cool, you can live uptown, but if there's nothing to go to, you can't. There's not really anything for it. Like if you go the route of like say not drinking, which a lot of people do. There's a lot of people that don't drink.
Apparently, that is like a millennial Gen Z trend. Is just who gives a shit about alcohol?
Yeah, true. So if you do not drink or like participate in drinking or don't drink that much, the amount of stuff that you can do in Charlotte is still pretty good. But there are so many breweries and things like that here. You're like, okay, like if I don't want to do that, then what's my alternative?
Well, it could be worse. It could be Asheville. Asheville has like more breweries per capita, I think, than any other city, at least in the state, if not like the Eastern Seaboard.
Oh, I was really honestly thinking that like Charlotte, well, not that had the highest per capita, but the amount of breweries that we have here, I'm like, okay, that is a lot of breweries.
Yeah, we have a lot, but Asheville, I mean, they famously, they are like almost more breweries than houses.
Oh,
They have a lot of breweries in Asheville. And most of them are pretty tasty. I got to give them that. Apparently, the mountains are a good place to brew beer.
Yeah, also make moonshine because that's what they were doing before. Well, we know that fact though too because of the troubled employment that we had for a little while.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the tour guide company, who will not be named. Well, we'll call them the shitheads.
Yeah, well, we can call them that because, yeah, you know what? We won't dwell on that.
Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, we're done with that. But like I said, yeah,
We'll edit that out.
yeah. Well, we'll leave it. We'll still leave it in. It's going to still be part of it. But just the fact of like say like everything is going to be a luxury apartment. What?
The shirt is changing color.
Oh, well, it's also because probably your sweat too.
Yes, that's what I'm alluding to. The fact that we are in this way, and I'm wearing this is a brand new shirt, so it's still like fully starched from the manufacturer.
Yeah.
So no air is getting through this shirt.
Yeah, I apologize for that. But, I have no control over it.
So yeah, if you thought I looked like I was going to die last week, now in hypercolor.
So realistic. Yeah.
Oh God. I feel like you set me up. Like,
I really didn't.
I know this was not a planned thing, but it's just working out really funny for you.
I honestly have like I'm not taking like the crazy amount of enjoyment, and I really like said like they sent shirts, and they sent duplicate of one of the shirts. I was like, hey, maybe I can give it to Daniel. That's
is my fashion coordinator.
Yeah, because well, I want to give him this shirt because, like I said, I got duplicates of it. Sorry to the company that sent out duplicates and their inventory is off. So sorry. But I did give him a pair of shoes that I had in my closet for maybe about a year. And because, like, his shoes were, they were a little beat up.
Yeah, I tend to buy a pair of shoes when I have worn out the last pair.
Yeah, so I was like, hey, you know what? Daniel and I both wear size 13. In case somebody wants to send us shoes out there. 13, I guess I wear, like B4, wherever like really wide is, I wear that. But we both wear the same size shoe. I was like, hey, I had these in my closet for a year. You can wear them, or you can have them.
They're super comfy, and I have gotten more comments on those shoes than on any other article of clothing I've ever worn. Everyone loves the shoes.
Yeah, which is like I said, not so much weird. It's like it's an odd fact that like everyone like really enjoyed the shoes. Aside from like any other article of clothing you wore, because like I said, you wore shirts that like I thought were like, hey, it's a cool ass shirt. But apparently these shoes are just stand out.
They're just that much cooler than the rest of my wardrobe.
You know what you were doing? You were peacocking.
I was tricked into it.
I guess, yeah, I tricked you into peacocking. I tricked you into being more colorful.
Damn it! People noticed me and liked me.
I know.
This is just. I can't have that.
Yeah, it's part of the gay influence. That's what's happening.
This is part of the homosexual agenda.
Yep. Y'all seeing it here live, folks. It's part of the gay agenda. Everyone has a gay friend, gay, bi, lesbian friend. They're slowly encroaching on your life, giving you little tips and hints, and then at some point you're going to just, have some gay or lesbian sex. You'd be like, how did I get here? You'd be like, gay agenda.
It's coming for you too, folks.
Yeah, you don't realize it, but it's coming for you. You don't know it, but it's already happening. You already have some gay, lesbian, or bisexual friends. They haven't told you, or they may have told you, and you're just comfortable with it. They're like, oh, they're not going to do anything. They're going to change your life for the better. That's how we're going to take over the world.
Yeah. Check in next time and see how they're doing. Yeah, I am formally reaching the point where I think this shirt is going to suffocate me if I don't wash it.
Okay, so we'll end it here.
Yeah, so this is not our funniest ending, but it is an ending where I might pass out.
Yeah, he might die. Tune in next time. Bye.
That's the wrong button.
No!